Can everybody hear me okay? Can show of hands if you can hear fine. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I was a last minute substitute and it was actually an opportunity that I created for myself. I know that a lot of these events will have speaker slots that'll open up because of cancellations. So I typically contact them ahead of time and say, if you need someone, I'd be happy to do a presentation. So that's actually how I ended up here today, creating this opportunity. But I am CEO of Virtual Traveler, and we are digitizing the world in 360 videos. And I came here from Helsinki, Finland. And I would like to invite all of you over to our stand in the main auditorium. We have free drinks later, so if you'd like to join us there, that would be really nice to have you. In the art of creating opportunities, there's 3 guiding principles that I like to go through. And I'm a former teacher, so I like to teach by examples. So I'm going to actually take you through some examples so you can kind of see how my mind has worked, and maybe some of these tips and hints can help you when you're trying to solve some of your biggest challenges. The first thing that you should really be thinking about is goal setting. If you don't set a goal, then you really don't know what it is that you're trying to achieve, and really setting all those expectations and what are the challenges in reaching that goal. And I always like to tell people to set the goal a whole lot bigger. I mean, just dream really, really big, and you will achieve things along the way. Don't be afraid to set just tremendous goals for yourself. And then the second part of this is whenever you're trying to create an opportunity for yourself, we live in a world that is not a take world. So you need to be ready to give something back. So always be thinking, if there's something that you need and somebody has it, what can you give back to that person so that they would be willing to even help you more? And then the third guiding principle is what I call positive thinking. And positive thinking is proactive problem solving. So, and what I typically do when I have a challenge is I try to think of 3 things that could help solve it and just figure out which one is the best one to go with and then go with that. But just constantly be thinking, what are those solutions to your challenge? Never think can't, always think solutions. The first example that I'm going to go through with you is, and this example actually is going to show you actually how long I've been an entrepreneur. I've started several companies in the US and also in Finland, and this is one from the 90s. But I had a medical software company, and it was a brand new company. We had only been around for about 6 months or so, and it was in the healthcare industry, and I wanted to get noticed. We had gone to the Microsoft Healthcare User Group meeting, and there's lots of products and services, and I wanted to somehow get us to stand out. So I thought, well, Bill Gates is going to be there. So I thought, well, this is one of my old pictures there. This was actually taken that day. And I thought it'd be really nice to get a picture with Bill Gates. Our software had been nominated for an award in 6 of 9 categories, and we had won in one of the categories. So I thought, I'll go to the keynote. I'll try to introduce myself to Bill Gates, get a picture, get a quote, and maybe put us on the map a little bit. Well, I went to the keynote and stood up at the microphone and asked him for the picture. And at first I thought, oh no, I've just totally embarrassed myself because there's like 6,000 people and they were all just laughing. And Bill had turned, red in the face, and he was all embarrassed. And he said, nobody's ever done this before. But he said, absolutely, why don't you come up and get a picture? Well, at the end, this is actually the guy I got the picture with. His name is Richard Knopfsinger, and he was the worldwide healthcare manager. I was mobbed by everybody. I could not even get to the stage because everybody wanted to know about our software that had won all these awards, and they were all excited. They were saying, oh, we should have done something like this to get the picture. And by the time I got to the stage, Bill was gone. They had taken him away, and Richard stepped in for the photo. And this is just one of those examples of kind of shooting for the stars but catching the moon, because there was probably 30 to 50 people that followed us from this keynote into the exhibit hall, and they all wanted to do business with us. And we ended up getting all kinds of free equipment and software licenses for our company. And as a startup, it was very, very valuable to us. But they were all excited. And of course, again, I'm dating myself because some of these companies don't even exist anymore. This was in the 90s. But it was really amazing that we had this kind of opportunity and people wanted to do business with us because of taking that bold step and putting myself out there to try to get a picture with Bill Gates. This is another example. I was the chief marketing officer for a startup in Finland, and I knew as a chief marketing officer, getting to the big events, the big industry events was very important to meet customers. And I went to my CEO and I said, okay, what is the big event for us? I had just started, and he said it was Broadband World Forum. It was a telco type company, and we needed to market our services to telcos. But he said, forget Broadband World Forum. We can't afford the booth space there. Telcos, healthcare is another one that has very expensive conferences for startups to attend and get some decent booth space. So I went back to my desk and I thought, how am I going to get there? Well, I came up with this idea, and it was called the Innovation Technology Pavilion. I just wouldn't take the no. I was like, we have to get there. And I called Broadband World Forum and I said, we're a startup. We can't come there. We can't afford it. And then there's other startups. And I said, what if you create this Innovation Technology Pavilion and let us all come for free? And they said, absolutely. And they not only made this wonderful pavilion, they put us on the front page of the website, advertising it, and they let us pitch at the event as well. So it turned out really great. And after I had left that startup to actually start my own company, Broadband World actually contacted me again to ask if I would organize that again. It went over so well at the conference. Here's another example. Having a need and looking for someone who could fulfill that need. Well, we had started our company, and we had finally gotten to get our own office. We had moved up in the world a little bit, but the furniture that was in the office, they wanted 5,000 euros for that. And of course, to a startup, 5,000 euros, can last months. We couldn't afford the furniture. So I started thinking, okay, where can we get furniture? And of course, in Finland at that time, it was 2013, Nokia was laying off a lot of people from their companies. And I thought, okay, all of these people are leaving behind desks, chairs, all kinds of stuff. So I ended up contacting Stephen Elop at Nokia. And for him, what I told him was that we had some former Nokia people working for us. I knew that they were closing down some of these offices. We could really use the help, and we'd be happy to do a good public relations story for you. So by doing that and contacting Stephen, not only did we get all of our office furniture, they brought us everything from the coffee pot, the microwave, the trash cans, even office supplies, everything. They totally furnished our offices for us. And then on top of that, their PR person contacted me, and they did a really great PR piece about helping the startup community. So they had something that we needed, and I was willing to, of course, help them with their PR and do the story, which of course benefited us as well. The other, another kind of one of my crazy ideas that I had, we were getting ready to launch our product, and I wanted to have a really great startup event. I wanted it to be amazing. I wanted it to look like this. And I had this vision of an ice castle party with ice sculptures and white furniture and white. I even wanted white food, and everybody was going to wear white because in the wintertime in Finland it's really dark, and everybody's always complaining about the darkness. So I wanted to just brighten it up. And I ended up, this is our launch event, a startup with a zero budget for a launch event. I dreamed really big. I created this vision, and of course, nobody wants to be a part of something small. They want to be a part of something that's exciting. And so we had 14 sponsors sponsor this event for us, and the companies paid for ice sculptures at this event too. We even had one company that sent out the invitations to all the guests for us, and the invitation looked like ice. It was just beautiful. The other thing we ended up with was this beautiful cake. There was a bakery in a city that was 2 hours away from Helsinki, and she made this beautiful castle cake and drove it to the party because she just wanted to be a part of it. We had some of Finland's top musicians and performers perform at the event. Everybody just wanting to be a part of this really amazing ice castle party. So for a startup, I literally spent nothing on this party, and we had an amazing, amazing time. So again, creating something that would be positive for someone else. These companies were excited to be a part of it and have their brands in ice because people took pictures and put it out into social media. So they got a lot of positive brand awareness with these beautiful ice sculptures that they had made. Another, I think, important part of, let me see how I'm doing on time. Okay, I can very quickly do this example too. Another important part of your success, of course, with a startup is getting some credibility. And one of the things that you can gain your credibility with is getting awards. And I was the chief marketing officer for a telecommunications billing company in Louisiana. And they had a really amazing story that when Katrina hit Louisiana, they were doing billing for Time Warner and Sprint, and they could not lose any call records. They would just devastate the region. But they had a disaster recovery plan, and they transferred all of their data center operations to Dallas and didn't lose a single call record. It was amazing. But nobody was telling the story. So being a good storyteller and telling your company's story to people will help advance you and help you to, in this case, we won an award for operational excellence. But the funny thing about this was when I brought this to my CEO and said, we need to go there and apply for this, and he said, Donna, nobody gets an award like this without paying a lot of money for it. But by telling the good story and talking to all the right people, they got very excited about us, and then we ended up winning this award. So I think the three key things that I would really like to share with you are, one, to set the high goals. I mean, just plan whatever crazy thing you want to plan. Set a really high goal for yourself. The journey along the way, I've heard some other speakers talk today about the journey along the way. You're going to pick up an amazing things for you, even if you don't ever reach that particular goal. And then always, always, always try to think, what can I do for somebody else? I got this opportunity, as I mentioned, by filling a need that I knew that these guys would have, because things happen with speakers all the time. Of course, now that I'm telling you my secret, I probably, all the conferences will be booked with backup speakers now, I'm sure. And then of course, using the positive thinking has really helped me to really find those solutions to the challenges, come up with those good ideas, no matter if it sounds crazy or not, and then look for the person that can help fulfill that solution for you and see what you can do for them. But that's all I have, and I appreciate you guys for being here. And if you would like to talk more and discuss some of these ideas, we do have the stand over in the other room. And like I mentioned, we have free drinks over there too, so I hope to see you there. Thank you so much.